If 2025 felt like a failure to you, I need you to listen very carefully. Because this message isn't really about the calendar, a specific year, or a date on a timeline. This is about you. It's about your mind, your expectations, and the immense pressure you've been putting on yourself to be so much further ahead than you are right now. Let's start with a truth that most people don't like to say out loud. You don't feel like a failure because your life is genuinely bad. You feel like a failure because you're constantly comparing your current life to a version of you that never actually existed. Think about it. You're measuring yourself against the you who thought this year would finally be the big breakthrough. The you who promised yourself that things would be completely different by now. The you who believed that discipline and motivation would just magically appear one morning. You who expected incredible results without truly understanding the deep psychological work behind real transformation. That version of you wasn't real. It was an idealized fantasy. It was a character built from societal pressure and self-imposed stress, not from authentic purpose. And here's the part you really need to hear and let sink in. You did not fail this year. Your expectations failed you, because 2025, or any year for that matter, was never supposed to just hand you success on a silver platter. It was supposed to make you aware. It was a year designed to open your eyes, to make you aware of your own patterns, both good and bad. Aware of the endless distractions that pull you away from what matters. Aware of the people and mindsets you've finally outgrown. Aware of the person you can no longer be if you want to move forward. See, we've been taught that failure is the opposite of progress, but that's a lie. Failure isn't the opposite of progress. It's the indicator that a fundamental change is long overdue. If this past year felt heavy, if it felt exhausting, if it was deeply disappointing, congratulations. It means you're waking up. It means you're finally realizing that the old habits, the old routines, simply don't work anymore. Right? That the old mindset you've been carrying is holding you back. That some of the old relationships no longer fit the person you are becoming. The old version of you is cracking under the immense weight of who you truly meant to be. This year wasn't a punishment. It was exposure. It was life holding up a mirror. It was exposure to all the things you've been conveniently ignoring. Exposure to the difficult truths you've been actively avoiding. Exposure to the very real limits you've been pretending you don't have. It was exposure to a life that you were no longer willing to tolerate. Every signal you received was a message. Your burnout wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a message. Your constant frustration wasn't just a bad mood. It was a message. Your feelings of loneliness weren't a sign that you're unlovable. They were a message. Your perceived failure was the loudest message of all. And every single one of them was screaming the same thing. You are not supposed to repeat this year ever again.
Oh.
Listen closely to this part. Your brain, by its very nature, hates uncertainty. It despises change. It recoils from discomfort. It's a survival mechanism. So when life tries to push you out of your comfort zone and into a period of growth, your mind immediately interprets that friction and discomfort as personal failure. It tells you, see, I told you you couldn't do it. But failure is just friction, and friction means there's movement. Movement means there's evolution. You didn't fail 2025, you outgrew it. That's precisely why it felt so wrong. That's why it felt like nothing fit anymore, like wearing clothes that are 2 sizes too small. That's why you felt so disconnected, so unmotivated, so confused. You were never meant to stay where you were. The universe was pushing you to shed that old skin, and so now, here you are, standing at the doorway of a new chapter, a new year, with 2 very clear choices. Choice 1. You can drag the heavy emotional weight of 2025 into your future, letting it define your every move. Or choice 2. You can make the conscious decision to leave it all behind and build from zero, not from a place of pressure, not from a place of comparison to others, but from a place of radical clarity about who you are and what you want. True transformation doesn't start with a list of ambitious goals or New Year's resolutions. It starts with brutal, unflinching honesty. Ask yourself, who have I been pretending to be, just to fit in or to please others? What am I absolutely done tolerating in my life, from myself and from others? What are the specific habits that are killing my potential, day in and day out? What boundaries are long overdue for me to set and enforce? Most importantly, what version of me is no longer survivable? This is your reset button. This is your psychological restart. This is your official permission to begin again, completely honest with yourself and unapologetically aware of your own needs. Your life is not defined by the year you barely survived. It's going to be defined by the year you decide to truly rise. So if 2025 broke you, good. Because breaking is the prerequisite for rebuilding. Breaking lets the light in. Breaking means the truth is finally coming out. Breaking means a rebirth is on the horizon. And if you're hearing this message right now, at this exact moment, it's not a coincidence. It's because you are ready. You are ready for the version of you that doesn't run from discipline, but embraces it. The version of you that doesn't collapse under pressure, but uses it as fuel. The version of you that doesn't settle for crumbs in relationships or in life. The version that doesn't shrink themselves to be liked. The version that never ever abandons themselves just to keep other people comfortable. The next year, 2026, will not magically save you. No year can do that. But you can absolutely save yourself. And it starts right now with this shift in perspective. If this message hit you at the right moment, you'll know exactly why. Thank you for listening. Follow for more psychology that finds you exactly when you need it.